Yo, yo, yo. What's up, fam? We're the Callaways.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Derek. And this is
Beating Heart.
You got it right on the first time.
No, do it. This ain't
not
our
what we
head.
do.
It's
We don't do none of that. We do it. Okay.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Beating Hearts. I hope you guys are ready for today's topic. Of course, you already know.
Yes, sir.
We're going to bring you another topic coming from the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I hope you guys have went ahead and got your books. I hope you went ahead and took the quiz.
Yes.
Because this is going to be very vital to your relationship. And so we want to go ahead and jump into today's topic. And we're going to let Derek tell y'all about today's topic.
Right. So today what we want to do is we want to, so that we don't like just draw out the book, so that we can get to the actual love languages themselves. We're going to kind of compile this video compile chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 into this video. So we're going to talk to you about what happens to the marriage after the wedding, the love tank, and then we're going to talk about falling in love. And so we're going to just kind of touch on those 3 parts. We hope you find something in there that you can take away and apply. So without further ado, so real quick, I want to talk to you about chapter 1. What happens to love after the wedding? I think what tends to happen to love after the wedding is that we leave love in the moment of the wedding.
Yeah.
Right? Because we put so much initiative into the wedding itself, into that moment, into that day, into those 3 to 4 hours. We focus so much on the dress, the tux, the maids of honor, the grooms, the food, the renting the building, making sure the music is right, the lighting. All of these things are perfect, but yet we don't put that same amount of energy into our marriage itself, into the idea of the marriage, what we're looking to get out of the marriage. And I think that what tends to happen to love after the wedding is that we realize that it's more than just the wedding.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's when we realize that we're going to have to actually put in the work. We're going to have to be intentional about what are the next steps to this marriage, to this relationship. How do we go about making sure that we're headed in a direction where it's healthy for the both of us? And I think that's a key thing that tends to get left behind on that wedding date, is that we forget that there is life after the wedding.
Yeah, and that's you was talking about the planning. It's like whenever the 2 couples, they come together, they're planning for the event. It's them working together to achieve something. Mm-hmm. And so, like you were saying, after the wedding, there's no more planning. But when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, you have to plan. You know, you planning out your future. What you expect, what we're going to be doing. It's almost like what the scripture says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So there's no vision, no expectations, nothing in your marriage, then your marriage begins to perish. So I just want to throw that out, because you got to continue to plan. You got to continue to plan for your marriage. You know, like you say, you should always be living in moments. So don't let the wedding day, don't let that just be the only moment in your marriage. Continue to plan, continue to grow, continue to set expectations for your relationship.
Right. And that was good you said that about it's that you're working on something together. It's like there's a fire there, because we're both looking to achieve an accomplishment.
Yeah. And
that accomplishment just happens to be that wedding day. And so, you know, both people are fired up about it. And I think that, like you were saying, after the wedding, we no longer, what are our goals now? What are we coming together to plan for, to accomplish? What's setting us on fire now? And I think that fire, those goals, those planning those sets of plans need to be catered toward making sure this marriage is now headed in a healthy direction so that we can have a successful marriage.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and so part 2, or chapter 2 of the book is the love tank, right? And I just want to say this, put this out there for men concerning the love tank. We got to do better.
Yes.
We have to do better. Just after reading that book, man, and just taking this into consideration and being married the amount of time that I've been married to the woman that I've been married to. She's so beautiful. But she can be aggy, man. But the reason I feel like she's aggy, or I felt like she was being aggy, you be aggy sometimes.
Okay.
I know I be aggy sometimes too, but you be aggy sometimes.
All right.
You
keep talking to the people. Keep talking to the people.
Well, the reason I made that statement is because there's been times where I've had the wrong concept concerning this love tank, right? Where I felt like I could do one thing one day and that should last for a period of time. And so, it's like, hey, if I take you out on a date on Tuesday night, man, we spent time together, we went out and ate, we had fun, we played, we laughed, we joked. I feel like that should last me all the way over to next Tuesday. But that's not the case, right? No. If your spouse is like mine and that quality time is important to her, then you can't just give her, that you're a moment on Tuesday and then be expecting her to be all happy Thursday. And so I feel like what tends to happen is that because we don't know our spouse's love language, we don't know how to adequately add fuel to that love tank so that the marriage can get from point A to point B, or so that the expression of love can take us from one place to the next place. So I feel like, man, what we tend to do as men is we overcompensate for that one day, thinking that it should last for day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And when we get to day 3, we feel like she acting funny and she got an attitude and she aggy. But the problem is that love tank is now empty again. You gave her a half a tank. I just put it like this. Your actions only put it on a half a tank, right? So Wednesday drove off of that half a tank. Thursday drove off of that half a tank. Man, Friday that thing gonna eat. Right? And what you want to do on Friday? We want to go chill with our boys on Friday. We want to do this on Friday. We don't want to give her no time. And so now we feeling the result of that decision and that failure to fuel that tank.
Yeah, and like you say, just talking about getting to know your spouse's love language, how important it is, because it's so much simplicity in the simple things, the things that make us smile. And sometimes we make it so hard, we feel like we have to do so much to make our spouses happy, but you really don't. Right. And I think something that we've been talking about, like the whole social media thing, how social media have us thinking that we have to be doing this, we have to be getting Mercedes-Benz, we have to get Louis Vuitton, we got to get the nice bags in order for our spouse to show us love. But it's the simple things that really matter. Just like one of the things that I enjoy about my husband, quality time, is my love language, but also physical touch. So one of the things that make me happy is that whenever I come home, we have to hug. It's a simple thing, something as simple as a hug. Have me with butter. Candy. Yeah, I love them there, airhead. Yeah. But I love my hug. Give me a hug. But anyway, it's something as simple as a hug that makes me feel the butterflies. So we gotta understand that it's simple. Filling the love tank is simple. So guys, let me help y'all out. Since we talking about filling the tank, y'all need to make sure on Sundays y'all take your wife's car, Mr. Derek, and fill it up. Keep that love tank filled. Yeah. Ladies. Right?
You're not exempt from this at all. So, your husband has a love tank as well. So you have to make sure that you are depositing love into his tank as well, because you don't want it to feel like your husband doesn't want to give you any attention, or you don't want it to feel, or you may feel like he doesn't want to give you any attention, or you may feel like other things may seem to be more important to him. But at the same time, you have to engage him on his love language as well. Whatever. It's possible that whatever he's giving his attention to is a fulfillment for him in some way. So with you learning your spouse's love language, you now have ammunition, right? So that you can now apply that thing to him to pull him to make him want to. And I guess you shouldn't have to make him want to spend time with you, but he's more excited about it. He's looking forward to it because you are now engaging him on his love language, right? So it's certain things you can do for your husband. Give your husband a back massage or something like that, right? Buy him a gift. If he like me, he might like a tool or something like that every now and then. If he, learn to get the man a screwdriver, a drill, or something, or if he into video games, buy him a video game. I know you might feel like, hold on, that's working with the enemy, but at the same time, that may be his love language. Yeah. And so receiving gifts could be a good thing for him. And it shows him that, you care about what he cares about or what he's into. So that goes both ways. And in chapter 3, falling in love.
I like this one.
You like this one?
I love
falling in love. I think falling in love is a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. Falling in love is a good thing because it creates the initial atmosphere of which you begin to build the relationship on. But where I think the falling in love becomes hazardous to the relationship is because we think that in love stage is what it all is, right? We feel like that high where it's all butterflies and unicorns and everything is right. Skittles and rainbows. Skittles and rainbows. We feel like that's what it's all about. So you don't even see, you're oblivious to the flaws of the person that you're in a relationship. Yeah. You don't even notice the things that they do that later on, right, are going to be things that get on your nerves. Mm-hmm. Right? So like you're going to notice that it's certain things that she says or certain things that she do that really touches a nerve with you, or it's going to be certain things that he say or he might chew too loud, right? In our in love stage, my chewing was never a problem for my wife, right? But after the in love phase kind of died down, because what Gary Chapman mentions in his book, and I agree with it too, is that the in love stage lasts for about 2 years, right? Then the reality of the fact that you go from in love to intentional love, right? Where now you're making the decisions to be with this person, to love this person, to see the best in this person beyond their flaws. And I think that's what's going to be necessary for sustaining a healthy marriage, because the wedding is going to be awesome. Though that's going to be a happy moment. You're going to go on a honeymoon. That's going to be a happy moment. But then you're going to come back home. You're going to have to go to work. You're going to have to pay bills. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. And guess what? You're going to need someone who's going to help support you in those things. You're going to need someone who's going to help you see visions through, goals through, and all of those things. And you're going to realize then that, hey, it was certain things that I didn't notice about this person before that I notice now. But I still am intentional about putting in the work.
Yeah.
Putting in the work. That's the go-to for the in love portion of this book. It's telling you that love is going to be about putting in the work. It's not so much that when you reach that place of friction in that marriage or in that relationship, that this isn't the person you were supposed to marry. It's not that you married the wrong person. It's that now it's time to put in the work to get to know this person more, to get to learn this person in a way that's deeper than what you was able to see in the in love stage. So I think that this is just the part about rolling up your gloves to put in the work from in love to intentional love.
Yeah, and I love the intentional love. Bring you to that statement that love is not only your feelings and emotions, but love is also action.
Right.
So, like he said, putting in the work. Being married is not an easy thing, but it's so worth it. The work that you put into it is so worth it, because the more you work at it, it turns into this beautiful thing. So I enjoy intentionally loving you each and every day. And we have to realize, so many times people get into a relationship before they get into a relationship, before they ask the question to will you marry me, they put in the work. I mean, when you tried to get her or you tried to get him, you did everything you could. You took them out to dinner, you bought them roses, you sent them a message, stayed on the phone night, you did everything. You put in the work to get them. But somehow we think once we get our spouse, we no longer have to do any work. We stop doing all the things necessary to keep them. So we have to remember that. Put in the work. Be intentional. Remember, the love is not only feelings, emotions, butterflies, but it's also action. Your spouse like to see over and over again. They be like, you can tell me all the time that you love me, but I gotta see some action.
Actions speak louder than
words. Action speak. But yeah, so we have to be intentional about staying in love, falling in love, and put in the work to keep this marriage on fire. It's work. Like you say,
it's worth the work too.
That ain't what I was about to say, but we don't roll with that. But like you say, healthy marriage is not something that just happens. You got to put in the work.
Yeah. So, man, we thank y'all for tuning in with us on tonight as we discuss the first 3 chapters of the book, The 5 Love Languages. And man, we're looking forward to our next video. We're gonna dive into love language number 1, or the first love language mentioned in the book. And so from there, we're gonna go into each one and give insight and tips and things of that nature on how to fulfill your spouse's love language and how to maybe even discover your own. So man, don't forget to like and subscribe for this video. Share it with a friend, share it with a coworker, share it with your spouse, share it with someone, because we're sure it'll bless them.
Yes. And again, if you have not picked up this book, man, go ahead. Amazon, Hobby Lobby got it for $7.99. Go ahead, pick up this book. If you have not took the quiz, I mean, it's so important for you yourself, not nobody else, but you yourself, to know what your love language is. Pick up this book. Go ahead and follow us also on Instagram as we go through these chapters. We may need to start a little book club with this book. Right. But follow us on Instagram, because we're going to be sharing some tips and different things on there as we go through this book. We may just want to challenge y'all. If y'all have this book, we challenge y'all to read this book with us. Like, we're going to read it together. We're going to grow together. We're going to build together. That's what it's all about.
Amen.
Healthy marriages. We ain't talking about no perfect marriage. We talking about healthy, real marriages. So we thank you guys for tuning in with us on another episode. We miss you guys. We love you guys. And again, go ahead, like, share this with and
don't forget to hit the notification bell.
Hit that bell to be notified when we're on. And so once again, we thank y'all for tuning in with us at BeatingHeart. We love you guys.